My marriage is falling apart because my husband has had an affair. Scott met this girl 5 years ago when I was 8 months pregnant with our middle child. I started sensing something. I started checking cell phone records and saw this number, and I call it. I confront Scott. Scott tells me it was nothing. It was this girl he met, a little flirting, whatnot, but she lived out of state.
Just something kind of clicked, and I guess it clicked for her as well.
Nothing happened intimately, but a bunch of racy talk over emails.
I swore to Chrissy that it would never happen again.
I believed it was all over, and life was perfect. Last year, Scott and I had the same cell phone. Same model, same color. I confused his with mine. It buzzes. I pick it up and read the text. I love you. I became numb. I couldn't breathe. I had a very sick feeling it still had something to do with the woman years prior.
I lied. All along, I was still seeing her.
He admitted to me that he had been having an affair.
My wife freaked out.
They were not over. They never had stopped. He's had a 5-year affair with the same woman.
But you made a proposal to her about that, right? You said, I guess this was your second proposal. One was to marry you.
Yes.
And then you made a second proposal, which was to modify the marriage and have an open marriage.
Yes.
And your proposal to her was basically what?
Basically, I would still, remain at home and take care of everything, that I do. And
Okay, well, I wrote down your key points. You said you would come home every night and live as husband and wife, but she would have to quit complaining and fighting about the mistress.
yes.
And she would have to stop trying to catch you and just accept it.
That's kind of what I offered, because she's known about it for, I guess a year, and I've been caught time and time again, and it gave me almost an acceptance that I felt she was giving me.
Now, you actually made a counter proposal. The kids would never see her.
Correct.
And that he would spend all holidays with you and the kids.
Correct.
And so you were okay with that?
That lasted maybe 2 hours. I got so tired of fighting him and her, fighting her to leave my husband alone. I begged her to stay away from my family. And I got tired and I felt broken. So I offered it, and then I realized there's no way could I live that way.
So they just kind of wore you down, and so in a weak moment, you said, okay, but I come first, all holidays, and the kids don't know anything about this.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
so you thought you were home free for a couple hours.
Yes. I was just, I guess I felt that way, if you call it home free.
It is still going on, right?
Yes, sir.
You're still involved with her. In fact, you suggested that everybody just get together for drinks last night here in town. Did you go for that?
No.
You didn't?
I didn't.
Well, I'm asking because you've apparently been fairly flexible with all of this. Okay, now I want you to hear some of the things that you've told. You probably said these to her, but I wrote down some of the key things that I thought give us your point of view, and I assume you're willing to own it since it is your point of view. You said, what man wouldn't want a wife and a girlfriend?
I'm sure, yeah, I said that.
You know, a lot of men would think that one's enough.
Well, it is. I guess on that note, it was kind of, I feel, we have children, and I feel I have an obligation. Then I have the other woman that I fell in love with, and I was just trying to make the best of.
So she could run the house and take care of the kids, and then this other woman you would have for like sex and outings and travel and that sort of thing. So you'd be kind of like the help.
Right.
Okay. You said Chrissy would basically be the mom and housemaker. This other woman would be everything else. So you could mother the kids and keep the house. She would do everything else. It'd be like having two different cars. You have a weekend car and a weekday car.
Yes, that's
Okay.
That's what I said.
And you said, she expects me to just quit, to stop, but that would be like someone saying, cut off one of your arms. I don't want to cut off one of my arms.
Right.
Right?
Chrissy, in the past year, she's tried a lot more to be a better wife, just be more receptive and corresponding to my needs and stuff. But you know, I already have deep feelings for another person, and I think she just said, well, if I start being this better wife, just push her to the side like it's just a tin can or something, but it's, you know, it's
So
hard.
she's raised her game and arrogantly expected you to react to that by cutting off this other woman.
Immediately, yes.
Hi. Okay, if you would have a seat right here. And Scott, where'd you want to sit?
I don't know. Does it really matter? I mean, where I sit?
I think it matters immensely, but you just sit wherever you feel like you want to sit.
Okay.
Thank you for being here. Do you feel like he's been honest with you?
Not totally.
Not totally. Now, you're out here today, and we're referring to you as Tammy, and we're not showing your face. If I tell you I'm going to do something, that's exactly what I do. So if you say you don't want to show your face, then we won't do it. I'm just curious as to what your thinking is about that.
Mostly because my family and my coworkers, the position I'm in with my work, I can't, I don't disclose that to them. It's my personal life.
Sure. All right, and we'll certainly respect that. I'm guessing your attitude is if you do the crime, you ought to do the time. What?
I have felt that way for a very long time.
Do you have any guilt towards her that you're sleeping with her husband?
Yes, I do.
But I have begged you. I have pleaded with you countless times. And look where we are. How can you have guilt? How can you?
The idea of Scott having sex with his girlfriend was something that was really hard for me to come to terms with. Scott has sex with both of us frequently. Scott had sex with me the other day, and then 2 hours later he went and had sex with his girlfriend in the motel room. When he leaves her, we were affectionate, holding me, putting his arms around me, kissing me. It makes me very angry as his partner, as the mother of his children. For him to be able to do that is unbelievable.
So your position is that you two are intimate on a somewhat regular basis.
Correct.
Okay, that's true?
That is true.
Is that true?
Depends on your definition of regular. I mean,
This is what it is. Because he tries to tell her what he needs to tell her to keep her from going away. Then he comes back and he does it to me, whoever he can benefit at the time and who needs it the most. And he comes up with these stories, tells her, well, our daughter's in the bed, so we're not sleeping together. But what she doesn't know is that we go and move our daughter after she's fallen asleep, and then we go to bed.
So you are having sex with her and with her?
well, I've really not been having much sex with anybody lately because of how this is, how this is.
You had said to us in an interview, you said, I'm the only one telling the truth in this situation.
I feel that way sometimes.
But yet, you're the one that sneaks around and hides this. You've lied to her about the affair. You say you sympathize with her, but you always say you're done, but you never leave. I mean, you've quit him how many times?
More than I can count.
I mean, time and time and time again, but you just keep coming back.
Yeah, we both do. We both say we're done, and it winds up right back where we are.
So if you were forced into a choice here, what you gonna do?
A lot of times I feel that I've lied and deceived so much. If I did choose to try and work on a marriage, that it's irreparable. It couldn't be repaired because of it, everything that happens. And I'm afraid sometimes she'll backslide into how she was when I started this. She admits she wasn't the best wife in the world, early on in our marriage. And you know.
Well, that had a certain symmetry to it, doesn't it? She's maybe not the best wife in the world,
I was
and
8
you
months
certainly
pregnant
aren't
when he
on the
met
short
her.
list of the best husbands in the world. About a year into their affair, Tammy felt like she needed to see Scott more frequently, so she decided to move closer. Well, you suggested next door, but what you really wanted was everybody to just live together.
Well, no, she knows there was a house next to ours, and I think I did it in a jokingly manner to say, hey, you just need to buy the house.
But your perfect scenario would be everybody live together, right? So you didn't have to.
Well, I don't think that would have ever worked real well because she can get along with her, but she hates her. So there's no way. Is that not true?
It's true.
Yeah. And she says that she could easily get along, and she couldn't. So no, that would be crazy to even consider something like that. I probably teased about
I
it.
didn't say easily, but I said that I would
What have
make
I
the
done to
effort
you? What have I
for,
done
for
to
the
you?
children.
What have I done to you? To where you could not easily get along with
She
me?
said she could easily get
I
along.
know.
Yeah.
What is it that you know about yourself that makes you believe that the best you can do is half a husband? You do lie to her and manipulate her and tell her what she wants to hear in order to keep her in place, correct?
Well, it's not really a matter of trying to keep anyone in place, Dr. Phil. It's, I don't want to hurt either one, and I've unfortunately hurt both women.
If you're not manipulating her and lying to her, how is it took 2 years before you thought to bring up that you had another kid?
That's true. That's true.
I mean, come on, look. Seriously.
Well, I felt...
This is me and you talking.
I know.
You've heard that old saying, the fans, not the players.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, we're up here having a conversation here.
Right.
Do not insult my intelligence by telling me that you do not manipulate this woman by minimizing and trivializing your marriage here in order for her to believe that she is number one on your hit parade. And then that you don't come over here and lie to her to try to get her to believe that, oh no, it's over, it's over, it's over. And then you start a fight, so you got a reason to sneak out and go be with her.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing that you're having unprotected sex with both of them. So you're sleeping with her. And you're sleeping with her. I mean, come on. It didn't just blow in on a wind here. Come on.
I know. It's I guess that's where the whole idea I came up with the negotiated marriage. I talked with Tammy about it before, and if for the kids' sake, and there would be boundaries and limitations.
Yeah. So he made this proposal to you. He said that he would live with her as roommates in separate rooms. And that, so he could be dad to the kids and pay the bills, that they would not be intimate, that he could see you whenever he wanted to, and that this was all just temporary till you could get yourself an education and a job. Soon as he could get you raised, then he would be out of there and be with you. That was his proposal to you, correct? Did you sign off on that? What'd you say?
He tells me that if she agreed to it, she couldn't handle it long because she doesn't want to be the mistress, and she would go away.
Okay, so he's telling you, go along with this for a while, she'll fall out.
Correct.
And he's telling you, go along with this, we'll get her educated, and she'll fall out.
I mean, it's a tough situation that I've gotten myself and these two into. I guess that's why we're here.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.